work out little things, get on top of everything, recalibrate is very, very crucial. I did a 3-hour webinar last year on goal setting. Everyone's been like, Birchy, give us some more goal, inspiration and sort of help us plan for where we're going and whatnot. So that's what today's video is all about, and today's podcast, and talking about how, the things that I do to plan. So my big thing is a sheet. So each year I've got this Excel spreadsheet. It's actually open on my screen. There's about 30 tabs on it. It used to just be all my goals in one, personal business all throughout those years. And probably about 5 years ago, I split it into half because I've got about 80 different companies. I've got lots of personal goals, business goals, family goals, all those sort of things, health goals. And I break it down to, all different segments. So it's very important that you work out, break it down to what's my health going to look like. I'm looking here, health, wellness, family, spiritual, business, personal. And then on the other one is just all my business stuff in different categories of sub businesses. So I think it's important to have a scorecard and just write, where it is that you're heading for the next year. So I have a 10-year vision of where I want to be at. So I'm 36 now, I'm turning 37 in 2022. And I've got a goal of, by the age of 40, I wanted to be a billionaire. I'm on track for that now. I wasn't for a few years, but, nothing's linear. You have good years and you have bad years. I have a goal of when I'm 45, I want to create my own currency. And I don't mean no cryptocurrency, no digital currency. I mean, owning and controlling a system. So I always talk about having a bank. These things are longer term pictures, but the little steps that I take on a yearly basis are like 4 steps to get there. So you need to have a 10, 20-year plan of where you want to be at, who you want to become, where you want to be at. I think about when I die, and hopefully it's not for another 70 years or so, what legacy can I leave to my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren? What sort of, impact will I have? How will people be crying at my funeral? And I try to reverse engineer and think, okay, that person that I want to be, where I've got, I know I've achieved a lot. What does that look like? And what steps do I need to do there? So each year, I think, is really just a to-do list. And it's my goals of what I need to do this year realistically. So if you're into personal development and whatnot, you'll understand, and you would have heard beforehand, there's things called SMART goals. So the SMART being specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and have a time on them. And I think it's very crucial to be specific. People say, for 2022, I want to get fit, right? And getting fit in 2022, everyone wants to be fit. I want to lose weight in 2022. Okay, cool. You lose 1 gram or 100 grams or a half a kilo, you're doing great. It's like, no, I want to lose 20 kilos. Well, put in there, I want to lose 20 kilos. But underneath, you're putting in, I want to lose 20 kilos, itemize the steps that you're going to take. So you're going to exercise 5 times a day. I'm going to walk 10 kilometers. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the next thing. So you want to break it down so your goal is not just a dream. It's a goal with a deadline and with a to-do list below it for you to be able to achieve those things. And I take this time to reflect. So I haven't actually done all my goals for next year. I haven't ticked off everything for this year. I'm looking at it at the corner of my eye. Like years ago, my goals, like 5 years ago, I'll go back to one from 5 years ago or something. This one here, what's this one say? 2013. Quit smoking by the 7th, the 1st, 13. Weigh 90 kilos by the 15th to the 3rd, 2013. People think that I'm pretty short because they see me in the video. I think I've got a lack of a neck, but I'm actually massive. I'm like, 6'4", hands the size of a dinner plate. And, for me, I think I'm about 115 kilos now. So I'm like pretty big. I'm probably the biggest, fattest that I've been. So beforehand, it was just like refining a few things. So I put in there specifics of what I need to do and I hone in on it. Every year when I look at quit smoking, every year I'd have that same goal roll over to another year and I'd feel disappointed. I'd give myself a slap. But then it came to a point when I quit smoking. I haven't had that on my goal list for about 4 years now. This will be the fourth year that I'm going into without smoking. it doesn't say I'm a non-smoker now. It just says I love smoking. I'd love to have a cigarette, but if I had one, I'd be straight back to it. So I need to know and tell myself, well, you don't go near those things. You don't do these sort of things. And, in my goals under health this year, I had here eat 3 pieces of fruit or vegetable raw per day. Have only maximum of 1 takeaway food per week. There was a point where every meal that I had was out of a brown paper bag. And, I had to, see, like, when I say that, I mean like 5-10 years ago, I used to eat really bad. All the food I eat is organic and really, really good quality food. But yeah, like breaking it down to specifics of, how you're going to exercise, what sort of wellness you're going to have, what sort of financial goals you're going to have, how's it going to look for you in the future. So a lot of people might be sitting here, and probably the biggest thing that I've heard from 2021 is that people didn't want to have any sort of medical procedure, right? And for some reason, everyone thinks they should come and talk to Nathan about that, which is cool. I guess I feel like I'm Morpheus on the phone going, yes, this is what we should be doing and how we should be exiting and trying to, take control of our life. But yeah, the biggest thing that I've seen this year is how do I not have this happen? And, if you're not coerced, like for me, I'm not bothered by it. I don't care. Like for me personally, I don't need to go and do that. I'm never going to have it. So no one even worry about asking me about it because the answer is going to be never. But for me, personally, it's because I've not been forced into a position where I have to go and do something I don't want to do. And that's just due to planning, commitment, focus on those financial figures. So if one of your goals could be financial, I'm going to tie this all back to financial stuff. Here at B.Invested, we help people reach their financial goals. And I think it's important to have clarity and sort of steps towards being able to do that. Last year, I publicly came out and said that I had the most amount of new investors go from 0 to 10 properties before any other previous year. In 2021, I had more investors again than ever beforehand. It is not because my businesses are growing and all those sorts of things. I've just seen a big shift of people that have realized that the financial market's dying. It's important to create cash flow. You can't rely on a job. They don't trust the system. Everything's fake, and there's got to be a better way. And, in life, we're just given one option, or we're given 2 options, good or bad, Liberal or Labor, or, work or not work, or whatever the case may be. But there's multiple options. I always see everything. I think, how can I get what I want with doing what I want to do? And I think a lot of people don't question in their own lives, how can I be doing what I want? More people are planning for the next holiday. More people are planning on what they're going to do for Christmas Day. More people are planning on what they're going to do to spend their money when they get paid this week than what they actually do to take that time out for themselves and go, how am I going to live my best life? How am I going to do what I want, how I want, when I want, how, all that. So I think it's very crucial to, sit there and reflect on, in 2022, who's the person I want to become? If I want to be this specific person, what steps do I need to do in order to become that? You might be saying, I don't know, I want the missus of my dreams. Well, getting drunk every night, going to the back corner of the club, picking up whatever it is when the lights come on, that ain't going to really find, the best outcome for you. So you're going to have to take certain steps and cut certain things out of your life. Just as I said beforehand, I don't want to smoke. I want a healthier life. So I quit smoking. I have a thing nowadays, which is whatever I put into my body, I want it to be improving my body and not hurting my body. So it's a mindset shift, and having a roadmap, clarity of how to get there is very, very crucial. And that's where I think the goals come in. So looking at, some of the goals, I haven't had a chance to sit down and actually work out all my goals. This is what I do to, right now. So, as I stop recording this, I'm going to probably jump straight into it, and it won't finish for another week or two because not everything I can think of right on the minute. So it's this downtime that I've got comfort, relaxing, and clarity, not with so much rah going on, that I can sit there and go, okay, cool, I'm doing great in this aspect. I need to improve on that aspect. What steps can I do? What things could I sprinkle on and add that are going to be improving moving forward for the next 12 months? And really, the timing of the 12-month cycle is just an illusion in your head. You could start this anytime, but I just think it's a good time to reset and reflect, because that's, my downtime personally. So, a lot of you guys and girls will be doing the same thing.